Lil Poppa, man, Jacksonville rapper, gone out of here from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. That's why I say it's getting to the point now where you want to make sure that every time, like before you walk out that door, every conversation, man, you cherish with your people because you just never know. And one thing about us black people, we don't normally go see therapists and psychiatrists, and so we rarely know the real state of our mental condition. We rarely know it. We may know that we're stressed. You know what I'm saying? When you find yourself, at times, or like damn near all of the time, cranky, and you just in a real, you in a rut, so to speak. You're not in a, you don't feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're moving fast enough or being productive, or you're sad or depressed about something. Like all of this contributes to the things that we do that end up ultimately ending our life. I don't know the circumstances or the situation with Lil Poppa, but I do know that this guy was like 25 years old. At first they were saying he OD'd. Now it's been confirmed that he actually, took his own life. Like ODing, I guess you could say it's a form of suicide, because at the end of the day, if you take that pill, then you doing it to yourself. But it's still a mistake. This is him loading the gun up, cocking it, putting it to his head, and pulling the trigger. Ain't nothing mistake about that. Because through that whole process, this is on your mind. What you finna get ready to do. Now, I'm assuming he probably was on all type of drugs when he did this. And like I said, I don't know why. But we need to check on our people. And we need to check on ourselves. We need to make sure that we're mentally stable. Because a lot of times we walking around and we don't know that we fucked up. Real talk. It happens. We walking around and we don't know how damaged we really are until something happens, or somebody rubs us the wrong way and they end up, something end up happening. We don't really know until we know. And the thing is, we'll never know because we never get checked out. We never give ourselves a break. It's always the same routine, whether we work, come home, might slide with the guys every now and then, or some motherfuckers might party every now and then, or some motherfuckers might still be, chasing women, whatever, however you doing it, you know what I'm saying? You always, you gotta we gotta start checking on our mental health, for real. Because the last thing that somebody will want is for somebody that they loved to check out, and there's no answers behind why my loved one isn't here anymore, outside of they put a gun to their head and blew their own shit up. And then me, myself, personally, I'm like this, bro. What was it that was that bad and you felt like you couldn't call me? You felt like it was the end. You felt like it was the omega. It was over with. Like, ain't no coming back from this. Like, what was it that was that serious for you to pull that trigger on yourself? That's not even something that black people do, but you starting to see it more often because we so traumatized out here. Real talk. A lot of the stuff that you see people do nowadays, you be like, man, I know that was a white person, but it be us now. And it's because we're traumatized. It's because we're mentally unstable. It's because we have so much shit, so much baggage that we haven't let go. And one thing about us, we hold grudges and we don't let shit go. And when I'm telling y'all, man, it's what y'all know, y'all know. I don't know too many people that probably haven't honestly contemplated suicide. Especially coming from where we come from, like coming from poverty, coming from the hood. Shorty looked like he had his whole life ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty successful with his rapping. He looked like he had a fan base. I don't know about any beef that he had, but I'm assuming that, you know, he probably was into it with somebody. You know, these young guys these days, you're not gonna make it in rapping if you ain't got some type of op. You know, if you ain't got an op, you need to make one. That's how they think. But I do know the shorty had motion, you know. Honestly, I never heard of him until he died, and I feel like that's sad. I never heard of shorty. Never heard. If I did hear a song by him, I didn't know it was him, and then like I just genuinely never heard of Lil Papa, not one time. You know, I didn't know he existed until he died, and I feel like that's sad. You know, we need to stop showing so much of this post-mortem love and start showing that shit while a motherfucker here. Real talk. We got to start doing the best we could, man, because we losing our youth at a rapid pace. You know, we losing our youth to themselves, then we losing our youth to, you know, the universe itself, because you can only do so much before karma come back and get you. And I know that a lot of my subscribers don't like me using that terminology, but it is what it is. You know, that's my belief. I do believe if you put so much negative out into the universe, eventually you're going to get that back. And a lot of these shorties do so much before the age of fucking 21 to the point to where, you know, they end up getting it back early. For the parents out there, man, make sure that y'all kids are, you know, call them. You know what I'm saying? You know, talk to them. Love them. We all go through shit, true enough, but like I said, that knock on the door gotta be a horrible experience. So you wanna make sure that if it is the last conversation or if it is the last knock on the door, man, you know, yo shorty know that you love them. Straight up on some real shit. Get yourself together. A lot of us are not, we're not good. A lot of us are not okay. So make sure that you get yourself together, man. Real talk. Make sure that you know, do your woosahs and take your walks and do your deep breath exercises or working out or smoking blunt, whatever it is that you do to make yourself, you know, take that off you, go ahead and do it. Real talk. I hate to hear about situations like this, man. Straight up, man. But you know what I like to say? Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. And try not to get slimed out. It's your boy. I'm out.